Stephenie Rittberger, and we authored Implementing Trauma-Informed Practices for Workforce Development with a friend of mine, Julia Monczunski, who couldn't be with me today because she is busy, but I really hope that the takeaways from our article are that having students highly involved in a process is really, really important, and having employers completely understand where students are coming from and the kinds of training that they're going to need in order to become the employee that they expect is instrumental in helping them to be successful and helping them to find upward mobility so that they can move up in a career path.
Fantastic. And why did you decide to write this article?
Truthfully, about 3 years ago, we took a look at our data, and it was really introspective for us. We took 2 days. We looked at every piece of statistical data that we had over 10 years, and I already knew that we had a gap in service, but I didn't know how to fix it, and I didn't know how to get teachers on board with doing the things that we needed to do to really be the trauma-informed practice that we could be. It was intuitive for my teachers to teach in a trauma-informed way. It was intuitive to have front desk staff that was really excellent and have a place of safety. But what I knew was that students that were falling through the gaps were our Native American learners, our learners that were struggling more with poverty, students that didn't have access to the same things the rest of us take for granted. Excuse me. And I was really hit by the idea that we could even the playing field in a bigger way, and that we could do it easily, and that it's more about understanding and really opening up partnerships, collaborations, and conversations in really meaningful ways. And so for 3 years, we worked on this dedicated and diligently, and Minds That Move Us was a huge help in that. I will just say that having expertise, having people who really, their entire job is to look at those kinds of problems and give advice and maybe proffer some ideas that you wouldn't have had otherwise was really excellent, because it helped me take a look at the team that I had assembled and think, oh man, I have got the best team for this project in our area that I could possibly have. But we have to figure out how we can sell this to the business community and make it worth their time to buy in and start to tweak policy and practice around the students. And definitely it's working. Students are staying employed. Median earnings are rising. Entering the workforce in the second quarter and the fourth quarter, heck, it was happening in the first 12 hours of class. So kind of, this is before COVID. I want to make that really clear. Right before COVID, I had people who were working 2 jobs and trying to figure out how to fit in class around it. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that employers were much more willing to work with them and much more willing to say, okay, so you have this issue, let's work with this on an individual level. And let's figure out how our policy fits you. So I think it's been a journey, but it's been a really great journey. And I have friends that people that were on my team that I now consider to be true friends, that I know I could go to and say, here's my issue, and they will help me problem solve.
That's wonderful. So, I'm hearing that what you did was you took 3 years worth of learning and wrote about that for the COABE journal so that you could share with your fellow COABE members all that you've been through, and perhaps they could then take what you've done and implement pieces of it in their own program. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for writing for the journal, and give us the title one more time of your article.
It's Implementing Trauma-Informed Practices for Workforce Development.
Fantastic. So I just want to encourage all of our members, go to coabe.org, click on journal, and you can find Stephenie's article. Thanks so much, Stephenie.
Thank you.